Welcome to season 6, episode 2 of the Film Bros Chemistry Podcast. I am Tim, with Mr. Co-host Patrick. How you doing, buddy?
Tim, her name is Christina Ruth Cromwell. She's 17, she lives in New Rochelle, New York, and she thinks her stepfather is trying to kill her mother.
And
oh
her.
my god. Yes, that's the line now. The line opens with my stepfather is trying to murder me.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. It really seems to start with this I don't know, something you would have watched on like daytime television,
This definitely has a TV movie of the week
right.
vibe to it.
Yeah. And it's just like the way they try to make the bottom drop out of my stepfather is trying to kill my mother and myself, basically. It's just like,
You would swear
whoa.
this was a satire of Lifetime movies that don't exist yet.
Yeah, it's like something you'd see on SNL.
Right.
Like probably back in like the 90s cast, you know what I mean, when they did those like little like studio shoot ones or whatever like that, you know, that
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah. You don't need to
oh
explain
man.
further, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? What's his name that would probably like narrate it instead? But yeah, it is this a horror movie?
Yeah.
You think?
Sure.
Uh it's kind of a stretch. I don't know. Like I'm a little
Well, because the body count wasn't high enough for you?
well, that you don't really get much of one until, you know, way later in the movie. So I don't know. Like it's to
That
me,
happens sometimes.
yeah, I guess so. It almost had like a class of 1984 vibe,
Yeah.
where it just takes a real long time to get to somewhere, and then you're like, let's go.
Funny enough, Tim, guess who wrote this movie?
Is it the same person?
Same guy.
He had a thing. He had a type of deal.
This is why I wanted to watch this movie. I'm like, Tom Holland is an A-plus writer and was a pretty damn good director too. So I was like, I gotta check out what the heck happened here. And Michael Winner, like I said, he did Death Wish
Yeah.
and The Sentinel, which was an okay 70s horror movie. So I was
Yeah, I
like,
think I
okay,
saw
that's
that with you.
we did. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like this is some like, real prestige to it, but like I don't recognize any of the actors.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. And I'm watching this like, what in the hell happened here?
It's an interesting little experiment of sorts, I guess. I am curious to hear your trivia type stuff at the end to see,
I got some stuff for you.
yeah, kind of how well it did or whatever. But like
Oh,
it
not well.
definitely, yeah, I'd imagine. Because again, I don't think either of us ever heard of it before.
No.
Um, but yeah, it's not your stereotypical one. Like I have a feeling that if you really want to blow it out and kind of like go over the top with it, like you could do a fun remake with this. Um
But you know what? This movie really, I laughed a lot. And I'm sure I'm laughing at it, but I'm like,
yeah.
it's so bad. It's like, it's worth watching. Like
Yeah.
I had a blast watching this
Well, I'm
movie.
just saying like
So
you
like, if
could do this in
you
like the
did
ready or
yeah,
not
I
kind of
understand, but you
genre.
know what? It would ruin it for me. Like, I
You
don't want to
think?
see a serious adaptation of this because it's perfect the way it is for
Well, I
me.
mean, even in those movies, they have their serious moments, but there's also times where you're laughing at it.
Sure.
So that's where I feel like you could do something like that with it. But yeah, it's Scream for Help, by the way, is what we watched, and this is an interesting picture, and it's your pick. So, but you did already describe it in the last episode. But anyway, carry us away there on that one.
Sure. A teenage girl discovers that her stepfather is trying to murder her and her mother, but when she tells people, no one will believe her.
Right, and so now she's basically got to be detective, you know, teenage murder she wrote to figure it
Yeah,
out.
everyone who wrote this up called her Nancy Drew. And I was like, yeah, that's
That's
fair.
kind of fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of similar dressing attire of
I don't know.
sorts.
I didn't read a lot of Nancy Drew. Was she always wearing pink too?
No, actually, to be honest, I think she wore a skirt a lot too in those book
Oh,
covers. At least I never read it. I only go off but the book covers I saw,
I
you know,
didn't get
growing
into
up.
Nancy
But
Drew or the Hardy Boys. I was into watching
yeah,
Murder She Wrote and
yeah, I think the only reading of
Matlock.
detectives that I liked
Quincy.
growing up was Nate the Great.
Yeah.
I really liked Nate the Great growing up, but other than that, I was right there with you. Watched all those shows mostly because our mother
Yeah.
watched all those shows,
Yeah.
so we were kind of stuck with it. So anyway, I guess we'll start off with Hero. Um,
Christina
yeah.
Ruth Cromwell.
Yeah, it's interesting that they go with like the full name there, middle and everything, and then they kind of drop it later. It's like weird, but yeah, she's an interesting one.
Yeah, Christy is played by Rachel Taylor. No, it's not Taylor, is it? What's her name? I had it written down, and I think I messed this up
What
for
does she
some
have
reason.
like basically two credits, right?
Rachel Kelly. I don't know why I wrote down Taylor. Yeah, she had done a soap opera, one episode or something like that, and
Yeah.
one other thing. So this is it. And then she quit acting after this, which she's not the worst I've ever seen. She's not
Okay.
like oh my God, what is she doing? She's not that kind of bad. In fact, I
But
wouldn't say
she's
any of the
still not good.
well, okay. The director screwed her with the narration. The
Oh,
narration
really?
is awful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it does her no favors whatsoever.
Well,
It makes her sound so much worse than she actually
there
is.
is some line delivery I want to say
Yeah, yeah,
outside
yeah.
of the
No, I'm not like gonna
narration that's
pretend that
not
she's
great,
Meryl Streep.
especially towards the end, where she's like nonchalantly talking about her Home Alone death trap she's setting up, and like, oh, I took shot glass. Well, like all this kind of stuff that she's giving is like, ugh, some this is so ridiculous. I mean, to be fair, maybe it is just ridiculous lines. Like, who's pulling that off to begin with? I don't know.
I like I said, I think the narration makes her seem a lot worse because the narration sounds terrible. It reminded
Yeah,
me.
right
I
from the
mean,
start, right from that opening
oh
kind of
yeah,
thing,
it's
monologue that you're
horrific.
given. Yes,
It
you're just
reminds
like,
me of
oh boy.
Harrison Ford's narration in Blade Runner. It's like he's not into it. The movie is worse off with it, and it's like
Oh man,
this is
I'm
terrible.
always reminded of your weird hatred of Blade Runner.
Oh, I
Um,
don't hate Blade Runner. Whenever I need to go to sleep, I just throw it on. It helps every time.
and then this is also usually where you plug how much you prefer the sequel.
It's much better. I don't fall asleep. It's incredible.
Uh,
That's
disagree.
um yeah, so yeah, that narration though, it's like porn quality bad. It is
Yeah.
like ooh.
Yep.
It sounds like something out of like a 70s porn too. It's
Yeah.
like what is no, what?
Yeah.
It's like she's reading it for the first time too. It's just oh my, I feel bad for her because like I said, like while she's
Yeah.
acting throughout the movie, like she's mostly fine.
Yeah.
I'm not like cringing always.
You're right.
Um, man. Anyway, so uh, can really tell how short this woman is too. By the way, because she
Yeah.
barely makes it up to the bottom of the mirror when brushing her teeth. The actress is 5'2" and looks every inch of it. Like
Oh
everybody in this
wow.
movie looks like 30 years older than her, including her high school friends.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the positive thing is like she is supposed to be like 17 or whatever they say her age is. So like, yeah, I get it. I think all that
She
fits the
looks like a
part.
17-year-old.
Yeah. Although like her like best friend, you're like, that's a grown woman.
Yep.
Which I guess we'll get to later.
It looks worse when she's standing next to her too. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I can, pretend, and they stand next to her. Like, nope, can't
Yeah,
pretend
but yeah,
anymore.
when they're like
Like,
walking and investigating together later on, you're like, wow, yeah.
yeah, I caught the same
One's an
thing.
adult and one's a child. At
Warning.
least
These,
Josh seems to be like a closer fit in age, so
yeah, yeah, yeah. Warning. These premises are guarded by killer garbage. Enter at your own risk. What the fuck kind of sign is that to have on your bedroom door? Killer garbage? What?
I actually didn't even notice that.
Oh,
That's crazy.
yeah, wasn't it?
I thought it was crazy at one point where they're like looking for her in the house later. I'm sure we'll get to it, but like they're all like, "Oh, where is she? Is she just hiding in her room?"
And
It's
they
like,
looked
seriously?
everywhere but her room. I laughed so hard. I was loving
Like I
this. I
can't believe
love this
this.
fucking movie. Like I said, like
Oh,
from what it seems, listening, I gave you the Blu-ray. I bought this movie, and I'm
yeah.
happy I own it because I can't wait to share it with everybody. Even though apparently it's available on YouTube, it was cheap. Um,
Yeah.
you can listen to an interview. You can watch an interview with Tom Holland, the writer,
Oh,
and
really?
like, I, oh my god,
Yeah.
that bastard. I had a good script. I swear to God, I had a good script. If I had the director I wanted, I would have been the stepfather like half a decade before the stepfather came out.
Hmm.
Anyway, so this movie, Christy is having a hard time with her mother divorcing her dad and marrying her new stepfather.
Yeah.
She's even sent to therapy for it, which in my opinion was a smart thing to do, regardless. But it's the
Yeah,
80s,
because
so there's
she's
a
like
stigma.
accusing the new stepdad of purposely breaking up the parents or something. Like she's already kind of accusatory of him being diabolical about it. And it's just like, well, I don't know. It seems like that would be kind of normal. I don't, but okay. Like,
Yeah, like her big like find was like finding love letters that the stepfather sent to her mom when she was still married, and he's like,
yeah, it's kind of how
"Who is
that
that
stuff
supposed to
works.
surprise? The mother would have already known about that."
You're right.
You know, it's like once her mom finds out that he's not a good guy, I'm like, "What?
Yeah, none of that tracked. It made no
No,
sense.
no." Eh,
And they kept throwing it out every once in a while because they have to like basically explain why nobody believes her, right? And that
right, because she
seems to
went to
be the
therapy.
main reason why nobody believes her is because she had this crazy thing about love letters. And it's like, what?
No, it's because she went to therapy. That's
Well,
really what it
but she
is.
went to
Yeah.
therapy for that stuff.
Well, that and always accusing him of whatever and having a hard time. But yeah. So apparently Christy flunked driver's ed. She only has a learner's permit, which presents issues for her throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Her mom is loaded, has a Chrysler dealership, and owns half the town. New Rochelle, New York. What a town to own. Birthplace
Yeah.
of Tim and myself.
Yeah, birthplace, yeah. Which I was
Um,
like, wait a minute, is this the New Rochelle? Is there
that is
other New
definitely New
Rochelles?
Rochelle, New
And then I
York.
like had to look it up, and I was like, where was it filmed? It's like film parts of it was filmed in New Rochelle, New York. I was like,
Didn't look like
wow.
you've been away from the motherland too long. Didn't,
Yeah, to be
none of it looked
honest, yeah,
recognizable to you,
I
huh?
don't even remember the last time I was in New Rochelle.
Oh.
Well, I mean, the main reason why we went, right, was because of our aunt and like
Right.
Thanksgiving
We moved
celebrations
out
and all
of
that
New
kind of stuff.
Rochelle when you were like, I don't know, two, maybe
Yeah,
younger.
two or
Yeah.
three, but we would go for family. But then after a while, we weren't going there for that anymore. So yeah, definitely lost the New Rochelle connection.
Right.
Represent.
Hell yeah. Christy's extremely fond of the color pink and usually has some pink somewhere in her outfits. My favorite was when she took a day off school and she chose the inconspicuous pink sweatsuit to tail Paul around town on her bike. Paul
How
Fox, by the
could
way.
you
We like
tell?
to say his
Because
full name all
oh,
the
she
time.
loves to say the full name.
Not just her. A friend calls him Paul Fox too, as does Josh Dealey.
Oh, you're right. I mean, they say his full name so many times, it's nuts. Like you're just like it's like almost like nails on a chalkboard after a while. You're just like, there it is again.
Like they're so
Why?
proud of the name Paul Fox. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Doesn't it sound cool? It's like somebody who's like comes up with their own name. You know what I mean? Like,
Uh,
I'm gonna go by this now. Isn't
So
that cool?
after the pink sweatsuit tailing outfit doesn't work out, she loses him. She takes another day off school to try again, and this time wearing pink pants and a yellow sweater. Oof.
Yeah, we're not calling home at this point for multiple days missed.
Oh, and then
Um,
she misses a third day because she still didn't quite get him,
yeah,
whatever route he's taking. This time, no pink. She's wearing like jeans and something else.
I
But it's
think
like,
there's a completely
wow.
different thing later, where Josh randomly rescues her, and he's like, "I can't believe you came." He's like, "I figured you were here because you weren't in whatever class."
Yeah.
And it's like, "Oh, so she skipped again."
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is
This
like
girl's
even
never in
after
class.
the following
When
thing.
she gets her girlfriend to come out with her, also like, let's leave school. Like, what?
Man, it
What
was
is
so
going on?
easy to skip school and parents are not notified or anything.
But
Like,
this
dang,
girl's
different times.
outfit's just like a pink sweater and green pants. I'm like, what the
Well, it is
Jesus?
the 80s too, so it's all pastel kind of
I guess,
colorful
man,
stuff
it
too.
is tough to look at. Not her
Yeah.
most egregious outfit, by the way. That would be her wearing the white shirt that said Muffs on it. And I was like,
Yeah.
the band The Muffs has not existed yet, so just I don't know what's going on there. I was very confused.
I was confused, but
It's
it's
like,
interesting when I
hey
was
mom,
like
you let your kid leave the house that
I
shirt?
started to look up pictures to get ready for editing and I that picture of her in that shirt kept coming up and I don't think I noticed it when I was watching the movie, but it's
Mm.
interesting that I noticed it as all these
Oh,
pictures
I
are coming
clocked it right
like
away. I was
a
like,
lot of people had an image of her in that shirt and I was like, what is going on here? Okay.
Oh, my favorite part too, when she's tailing him on the bike.
Yeah. Which
She's
happened it took so long to get through.
Yeah, well, we had to go multiple wardrobe changes because it took multiple
Yeah, and
days.
then every time she's got to
Uh,
give this shucks.
right, but like you could see, like yeah, New Rochelle, New Rochelle, New Rochelle. Oh, we're in England
Yeah.
because that like the Bowl House is clearly like some like farmhouse in England. Like this is not.
Yeah.
We are no longer in New Rochelle,
That's
New
not in New
York.
Rochelle. Yeah.
No, no, not at all.
Yeah.
Because like all the interior stuff was done in England.
Right.
All the exterior done in New Rochelle, except for this like one farmhouse, the Bull House. Like that's not in New York.
Yeah.
I nope.
Yeah.
Um, Let's see. Oh,
At least not in your show.
no, no.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, the worst acted scene in this movie is probably where Christy is talking to Josh Dealey's dad, the
Dad.
police commissioner,
Yeah.
the first
Detective
time at
Dealey.
the hospital,
Yeah.
where he's just like kind of amused, like telling, and she's like, "Yeah, Paul Fox tried to murder me and killed my best friend." He's like, "Oh, what?" And like the two of them just going
Yeah.
back and forth. It was like I'm
Yeah. And
embarrassed
he's
for
like
both of you. This
weirdly
is
like
so rough to look
believing
at.
her right away. But I don't know if that was bad or him coming back later being like, no, now I've been told you went to therapy once. Now I don't believe you.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
No,
And
I'll
yeah.
get into him later how
No, I
bad
know,
he
but
is.
I
But
just I was
yeah,
just saying like that was also kind of similar, like
telling
going
you, it's
back and forth
therapy.
acting wise. It's
Quite
just
the
like,
stigma. Yeah, yeah. No, he's
yeah, that's
terrible.
true. Therapy not good. Definitely big
What are you writing
change.
in that diary all the time? Anyway, Christy, the life and times of a teenage sex maniac.
Yeah. And
Not only is he an incompetent murderer, he's a total asshole. Well said, Christy. Nailed
yeah,
that point.
you got him good. Um, it's weird too, Christie's relationship with Josh. I don't know if we need to
Oh, is
save
it
that for
weird?
Josh, but it's
Oh, we
kind of
can go into
hard to
further with
separate the
Josh.
conversations between these two characters because I
Oh,
feel
we could
like
just revisit it because it's so bizarre.
it's so bizarre. So Josh is in a seems like committed high school whatever
Oh,
level
I would not call
relationship.
that thing committed, considering my guy is like trying to hook up with everything that moves early on in the
That's
movie.
true. You see him hitting on a different
We'll get into more of that
girl,
with later
and
with
I think
Josh.
even she, the friend, even said something about like, hey, like enough. I just like sleeping with him. Basically, that's it.
True.
So it seems to be mutual both ways. But anyway, so they're doing it and to the point where the Chrissy didn't even know because she gets mad that she was supposed to her friend was supposed to tell her when she was going to do stuff with boys. So who knows how long this has been going on or how newly she's been doing it, whatever.
She's
Um,
just upset because she's a virgin.
yeah. And so there's this that weird kind of cattiness, but it kind of
Uh,
goes whatever, and they move on and move on to other things. But Josh is a complete jerk to her
yeah.
the entire time during this section of the movie.
Until a
Just
sex buddy dies. And then he's like, I'm
yes,
moving in on Christy. And Christy's like
immediately.
totally into it, which is like, what?
Yes, the both of them are
That
just
body is not cold yet. What the
the,
hell? It
I
has not been a
know
day.
because they
Like
don't
that
show that
night.
time has passed or
No,
anything.
it looks like that night after he's
Yes.
dead, they're boning.
Yeah,
It's like,
and
what?
they're like almost like completely almost head over heels for each other all of a sudden. Like Josh
Yeah.
does a complete 180
We
treatment
love each
towards
other.
her. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there was that line too that she gives like the stepdad later, right? About like it's not like your relationship.
Yeah,
He
he calls
actually
her a
loves
slut, and
me or
she's like,
whatever.
we love each other. It's fine. I'm like,
It's
hmm,
like, what?
sis,
Excuse me?
sit down. I got some things to talk
I
about.
mean, maybe yeah, maybe it's just like chalk it up to like just dumb high school or teenager stuff. But at the same time, it is you're watching, you're just like, what? This is nuts. Like and like she is just ready to go with it.
No, until they actually do it, and she's like, and
Yeah.
having sex for the first time, which is very uncomfortable and unhappy for her, to the point where, yeah, that is one of the times I laughed out loud.
Yeah,
Um,
they seem to kind of treat that honestly, which was kind of funny.
it's very funny, and like
Yeah.
all this, like, what the fuck kind of movie is this? Like,
Yeah.
but that, you have hearing her mom do it, and hearing Paul Fox do it with Brenda Bowl. Like,
Yeah.
she's sworn off the idea of sex forever. Like having sex and hearing sex two different times, she's like, it's disgusting and
Yeah,
horrible.
because she seems to even goes and takes a look at her mom. It looked to be getting it from behind. Um,
No, no, that was with Brenda getting from
oh, I
behind.
thought they both did.
No, Paul Fox is on top.
Oh,
Because
okay.
you only actually see Paul Fox.
Right.
You don't actually see the mom at all when him and the mom are doing it. You only
You
see Paul
mostly
Fox
hear
on
it,
top.
but you see her basically taking a peek in too.
Yeah, you do see her taking a peek.
It
Yeah.
was just like, oh, that's not fun.
Um, but Chrissy's not all bad. Like she shows some smarts. She has some like
Oh, clearly, yeah.
uh, she eventually figures stuff out. Like she figures out, oh, you know what? One of these times I'm actually catching Paul in all these affairs. I should take a picture of it. I was like, I
Right.
know Polaroids exist now. She has to have one. She's a rich kid, and like,
Well,
oh,
she
there it
she
is.
does try to bring
There's the
her friend
Polaroid.
along, so she's got corroborating person first
Right.
off, right? And that clearly didn't end up working out, right? And then the picture thing I think comes after that,
And then she
right?
does a nice job of playing Paul off against Brenda and Lacey later on in
Right,
the in the
yeah.
scene.
And then she comes up with basically the death traps too. Um,
Yeah, puts on some rubber gloves. Like, there's only one way. What do you mean, Christy? I'm gonna have to kill them.
yeah.
Okay.
Which, oh man, imagine if like it's just turned her into a serial killer at the end of the movie or something like, oh man, I got a
And
high
there's
off
like,
of
I
this. I
like
want this
that.
feeling again, right? And it's like, yes, then we got like a Alice, Sweet Alice kind of ending. Let's do it. Like, let's go.
Wow, that
But
movie
yeah, we
really
didn't get
resonated
that.
with you. Wow. I'm gonna have to
It
watch it again.
did. Well, I think because it was such a fascinating, like so proto, like early in its genre type of deal. So it was just
Sure.
interesting, even though it was definitely not like you've definitely seen way better movies, obviously,
Um,
since like people perfected it kind of deal. But it's just such an interesting thing to see.
I also thought she was really good in the scene where she's forced to blow Josh off from the house when the home invaders are there. Where she tells like,
Mm,
I thought she was good. She's like, straight up like, clearly I'm being punished, you little asshole. I don't want to see you and stop talking to you. I was like, I didn't know you had this in you. In fact, it was some of her most authentic acting when she was being completely mean.
maybe, maybe.
Um, yeah. Anyway, so Chrissy is okay.
With
Uh,
some mixture of ugh,
yeah,
ugh.
but like a lot of the times I'm like laughing at it, and I'm not sure if I'm actually laughing at it or with it because of the way the direction is. Because the direction of this movie is like, sir, what have you done?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like in one way I can be like, yeah, I can see maybe we're having fun with this, and but then there's other times it's like I'm not so sure. Like I'm pretty skeptical of this playing it for that. Like I just think this, so that you couldn't really tell. Maybe that's a good thing that you can't really tell. I don't know. It didn't exactly rub me the right way. I went two.
So did I. I mean,
Okay.
I'm I'm being realistic here, but I'm like,
Yeah, 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 yeah. You're justifying how it got a point, basically.
exactly. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
she's
yeah.
not terrible.
We have seen worse.
I would have been fine seeing her in more movies. I wouldn't have been upset. And like, I would have been like, no way
Maybe
this
not in the
person could ever
lead
be.
role, but
I don't know. Maybe it was a better director who was like not like
right.
taking all of her worst takes. I don't know.
Or we've definitely have plenty of examples, I feel like, of people who got better as an actor as they've gotten older, you know.
Sure. Yeah. I wish
Um
she had, not given up the gig. I think she had more in her, possibly. I would
maybe.
have liked to have seen. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
So okay, fair enough.
So let's get to the best category.
Yeah, villain.
Yeah.
Paul Fox.
Paul Fox, played
Paul
by
Fox.
David Allen Brooks. Paul was a salesman at the Chrysler dealership when he met Christie's mom, Catherine, and wooed her away from her dad. It's weird we never see or hear from dad in this entire movie, even though Christie is
Never.
very convinced that they can get back together.
Yeah, he's clearly seems to be alive, obviously. It's not like he was killed or anything.
Yeah.
Which would have made a little bit more sense to him if he had like a suspicious death or something. That would have that would have like made things connect a little bit better here. But
Hmm.
he just got divorced and he's just gone out of the picture, like doesn't seem to be living in the area or anything.
I mean, not
Um,
even the mom mentions him ever.
yeah, it's not really there. It's
It's weird.
weird.
Anyway, my guy Paul Fox is an ace
Paul
gaslighter,
Fox. He seems to
especially with
also have like
Chrissy.
a poor beginning. Comes from humble means.
Yeah, we find out much later that he grew up hating Catherine
Right.
Cromwell because of all her money.
Yeah. Sure.
It's her fault.
Yeah, how dare she? As
And
she's
his
like
ultimate revenge, he
gallivanting
married her so
around
he could be
town with
rich.
her dad and their rich businesses or whatever.
Right. Uh, I love the oh yeah, New Rochelle, such a small city. You could definitely would have been able to point her out all the time. I'm sure. Yeah. Only person with money in that area, half an
Class
hour
warfare
outside.
in New Rochelle.
Yeah, it's like a half an hour north of New York City. Yeah, there's no money in that area.
Yeah.
Definitely all her. She's hoarding it all to herself. Please just step on over to Connecticut. You want to see real wealth.
True. Very true.
Um, anyway,
So most of the
like I
Yankees
said,
are.
that's right. My guy's an ace gaslighter with Christy, and her mom doesn't seem to care or believe Christy as long as Paul is giving her the D, preferably with the door open so everyone can hear them.
Yeah.
Uh,
At like prime times for her daughter to get home from
a,
school. The
a
few times
great
she
ex-
does go to school.
a great example of Paul being an evil bastard is that for Christy's 17th birthday, Paul gets Christy a new bike. She already has a
Right.
bike, and
Clearly,
her mom owns a
because,
car dealership. What the
yeah.
fuck?
Well,
That he
like,
works
yeah.
at.
It was clearly a knows that Chris. This is after Christy already followed him a bunch of times with the bike. Knows it was Christy, and he even gives like a. Actually, I kind of dug the line like, with this bike, you might be able to catch up with me or something, or keep
It's
up with
got
me or
12
something like. It's
speeds.
got 12 speeds or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it was actually kind of like that delivery.
Oh, I like my guy David Allen Brooks in
I
this movie.
I think he's
I
actually
think,
all right. Like he delivers, I think, exactly what is asked of this
yeah,
character. Like he's supposed they and she weirdly even says like admits that he's a good looking dude. Like he's
right.
this pretty dude. He's very charming.
He's especially good when he's doing the gaslighting.
Oh yeah,
He's very convincing. It's like, oh man,
he is.
he's not
Like
hamming it up. He's just like, she said a foul word to me, or
yeah,
whatever. Like, yeah,
and he has this ability to just to gaslight as you said and to just completely like the sky is brown, what are you talking about, kind of stuff, right? And it's he kind of is the best part of the movie. I'm
one
kind of
hundred percent.
surprised, like like I did not expect it at all, and as the movie kept going you're like he's kind of nailing this.
All three of the villains, I'm a big fan of in this movie. In fact,
I don't know if Brenda gets enough to do here to
sure, I would have
to
liked to see
say,
more Brenda, but
but
from
I
what we
mean
got to
she's not
see,
bad at
I
all.
really enjoyed.
Uh, fair, but I mean it's clearly that Paul's given the most in the villain category to do, obviously,
Right.
because he gets to keep playing against Christie and keeps trying to be caught, and all that kind of stuff, and you got to even like where Christie kind of helps him find out that he's being played himself,
Yeah.
which is a nice little moment reveal for himself too.
What a twist.
What a twist, right? Doesn't stop him from going through on things, but like,
Well, before we get into the other
yeah,
two, I'd like to talk about all the stupid traps that Paul creates throughout this movie to try to covertly kill Catherine and Christy.
right.
Um,
I also like to talk about how what the flaw of this character is, as much as he knows Christie is gunning for him,
right.
he keeps making the same freaking mistakes over and over again, allowing himself to basically be caught by her over and over again. It's like, dude, my man, like, can't we be a little bit more secretive or better about this? Like, what are we doing?
Just hell hath no fury like a 17-year-old girl. You can't win.
I know, but
But yeah,
like, there's better ways to get it in without getting caught by your stepdaughter over and over again.
you know what? I wouldn't know. I've never been a cheater, Tim. Uh, Please educate me.
No, not that I am either, you jerk. But you gotta be dumbfounded at times from it. It's like, dude,
No, that's ridiculous.
yeah,
She keeps on going back to the house. Like she
yeah,
knows where that is. What are you
yeah,
doing? But I guess like he's like, listen, I can say whatever I want to in front of this woman. She will always believe me. I give the
yeah,
best D in town.
yeah.
You
I
got no
got
chance.
her. She's in the bag. You're already done.
Yeah, I just had not considered a Polaroid as an option. Uh, Tough.
Yeah,
Anyway, so all the traps he creates. First, he rigs. This one really kind of pisses me off the most. He rigs a water pipe to leak all
yeah,
over the breaker box. And instead of killing Catherine, because the plan was the power was going to go out and Catherine was going to go down there and fix it herself. Not something a rich girl, I would assume, would do.
does. Yeah, she
Yeah,
just calls somebody.
exactly. Catherine,
But
instead of
maybe he
killing
doesn't
her,
realize this as being a person from poor, humble backgrounds. He's like,
right.
oh, wait a minute.
But
Rich people don't.
here's the thing that really confounds me. It ends up electrocuting a meter reader.
Right.
And how the fuck is there a meter in the basement of the house and not outside?
I don't know. Is there, I
In
don't, I guess
fact, we
I,
spend a
I know
lot of
that,
time around
right.
that breaker box, Tim, Did you ever spot a meter anywhere in that vicinity?
No, and our house was built in the 80s and it was outside. I don't know if there's older homes weren't at first. I don't know. It doesn't make much sense. Really doesn't. And the craziness of like it seems like all his plans is like galaxy brain kind of. I'm thinking like so far in the future that this plan is like a mousetrap that's eventually going to lead to what I want it to happen. And like without thinking about all the things that could go wrong with these ridiculous plans like that one, right? Like it the drip has to happen for enough extended of time.
Well, he did it the night before, but
I get, yeah, but
he
I
was
don't know.
waiting for the power to go out, and the
Right,
mom would go
exactly.
down there to
It
do
didn't
that.
go
But a
out
meter
enough in
reader
an
happened to
early
show up
enough
the next
time.
day.
Yeah, it's so weird, right? But it seemed to work out for Christie, though.
Well, it made more sense there.
I guess so. It's kind of interesting that like all of Christie plans are just like I'm gonna do what Paul wanted to
Yeah,
do, but
I'm gonna
better.
exactly. Well, the
Because
next
I took a
brilliant
shop
plan
class.
is to weaken the carburetor spring to brake in Catherine's car, causing the car to speed up uncontrollably.
Right,
And we'll get into that scene a bit later, but like
right.
that's okay. I mean, he didn't expect the kid without a driver's license to take the car.
Fair enough.
Uh, then the next one is after Paul catches Christy and Josh Dealey doing it. Uh, Christy realizes she's bleeding, which, boy, that was a lot of blood.
What a
Uh,
scene.
and he won't let her in the bathroom because he's standing right there. Turns out he had rigged the hot water tank to the pilot light to blow out and the gas to be all burned up there. So, and as soon as she turned on the light, it would
Which is the
light the
light switch
ignition
they
and cause
showed
everything
has
to
a
blow up.
spark to it or
Yeah,
whatever. But why her bathroom?
because he wanted to kill her too.
So it's just a separate plan.
Yes.
Okay.
Hopefully, it would have happened while they were out on the town,
Right. Okay. Yeah,
but it
and
couldn't
it's
couldn't happen while he was standing right there.
you gotta have to dig. Actually, I really dig that scene. Because this is another fun gaslighting moment from
It's
him.
really good. It's like, you know what, Christy, you're right. I do smell gas. I'll have to have that look at or something like that.
Yeah, as he's like clearly just pulling a thing out that somebody stuffed in there,
But he
and
stuffed it in there. Yeah.
like that like clearly he set this all up, and basically just very clearly showing that as he's doing this and being like, yeah, I gotta have somebody look at that, and it's like confirmed, like, yeah, I'm trying to kill you, woman. There's nothing
I,
you can do about it. It's like, wow, okay.
yeah, it was cool. And then I'm not sure it was him or Brenda driving Brenda's car to
That's
try to
never
run Chrissy
confirmed on
down in the
who
road.
drove the car.
Oh, it only managed to kill Chrissy's friend Janie.
Yeah.
Um,
You never find out who did it. That would have been a nice eventual reveal of who actually was driving the car because they all had alibis, so we don't actually know who is the one who did it.
yeah. The dumbest murder plan, in my opinion, is the bent riser on the stairs that Catherine trips over.
Oh yeah.
Like a crazy person, she thinks she bent it while tripping, but that shit looks like brass or something.
Yeah.
And Paul probably needed to use like a tire iron or something to bend it that far out.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It
And yeah,
is.
it just breaks her leg. Doesn't even fall that
Just
far.
just
It's just
breaks your
like
legs.
one leg. And honestly, she gets around really well with that thing.
Yeah. Or thrown about, which is like a crazy thing towards the end, but I'm sure we'll get to it.
Yeah, eventually you have I love this scene too, where Chrissy finally shows the picture, the Polaroid of him and Brenda fucking.
Yeah.
And the Paul's like jig is up and just starts being honest with her about everything. And he's like, I'm not trying to kill you for your money. You think I would try to kill you for your money? I just do it because I always hated you. Uh, he's like, think about that for the rest of your life. And he like slaps her around, spits at her, like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, Paul, evil bastard.
It really goes hard. Like
Um,
I'm gonna crush your spirit too.
and
Like,
I like how pathetic he becomes towards the end of the movie too, where he's been
yeah.
like he realizes he's now in a subservient position to Lacey and Brenda.
Yeah.
And speaking of, let's get into them.
Yeah. Are we gonna
So
do Brenda first, or
I think so.
okay, that's fair.
You got Lolita Leshim, aka Lolita Lori, uh,
Yeah,
in this movie. She changed her stage name, I guess. Played by playing Brenda Bowl.
yeah, and
Uh,
she worked at a department store or something, I think, right?
yeah, and she's sleeping with Paul on the side, who he promises to kill Catherine and Christy so they can be together. She's secretly married to Lacey, but Paul thinks they're brother and sister. Uh,
Yeah,
Brandon and
and
Lacey plan to
Lacey is
blackmail
not
Paul.
aware that she's saying that.
No, but Lacey's all he knows.
No, he does not know that they're sleeping together, and does
Yes, he
not
does.
know. No, he does not.
Lacey knows.
That's why he's mad.
No, he's mad
That's
because she looks like she's enjoying it in the picture. That's why he says, like, look at the picture. You see, you're enjoying it. I can see your face.
I could have sworn it was no because
Tim, I really watched the movie before I came on because it's on YouTube. I'm like, I'm just gonna remind myself because I watched it like
I
that
could have
before anything else either.
sworn it was he had no idea that they were she was claiming they were brother and
No,
sister because
yeah,
she has some lines
no.
there of trying to defend herself
She
and
says, "I told you, I have to keep sleeping with him until he does it. He knows."
I guess I never caught the I told you. Okay.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, they plan to blackmail Paul for everything after he murders his wife and stepdaughter. She's pretty good in this, I thought. Equal parts like alluring and menacing. No line reads that made me wince.
I
Appreciated
don't
the
think they
nudity.
really gave her much there, right? Because like a lot of her scenes were mostly leading up to a sex scene, I guess, of sorts.
Right, but like
I
in the
think the
scene where
first time
her
you
and
really get it was with the husband.
when Lacey's fighting, yeah, as I was gonna say,
Right.
like
She did a good
she's good.
job of like someone that's
And I think
getting
when she go in
abused.
full bad guy at the end, she was really good too. Like the last, like, was it the last 36 minutes of the movie?
Something like that. Yeah. Again, I don't think she's given much, but yeah, I think she's doing okay in what she's asked to do for sure.
And last but definitely not least, Lacey, played by Rocco Sisto,
All right, he's the
who,
tough guy.
yeah, he also played. No, Tim doesn't want to get this, but he played young Uncle Junior on The Sopranos.
Yeah,
Probably the
sorry.
only actor in this movie I recognize. And the person who I think, honestly, I think he does a fantastic job. Right mix of like despicable, greasy, menacing,
Yeah.
nuts, real nut
Yeah.
job, jealous energy here
I
that
mean,
I
it's
really
weird because
appreciate.
like he does seem like the lankier dude, but he's like he's taller, obviously. He's got the height kind of deal.
Yeah,
So it's like at first you're kind of like, this is the scarier guy, but then you kind of see it play out and you're like, okay, this makes sense.
well, I like the part where like the mom's like, "So you're gonna kill us?" He's like, "No, honey, not me. He is." And like Rocco just point that himself.
Yeah. And I also I like when when he does find the picture
Yeah.
after the wife thing. Actually, I like when he hands it back to Christy after he catches Christy. Like Christy's done,
Mm-hmm.
right? But he gives her back the picture because
Because he wants to get this shit over with. He's
yeah,
like,
he's impatient by all this kind of crap or whatever,
yeah,
right? And he's like, that's gonna light a fire under his ass. Like, let's go,
yeah.
kind of deal. And I was like, it was pretty nice delivery. Like, I kind of like that. Yeah,
Yeah, and I thought he did great in all the crazy parts and all the action at the end, and we'll get into those in a bit.
yeah.
So I gave this category 3, my highest rated category.
I did not go that high, but I kind of like barely went under, so I went 2.5.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I just didn't think there was enough here in a lot of stuff. And I think there could have been. I think oh man, like I just feel like there's some definitely some missed opportunities where you could have taken this up another level. But you're right. I mean, no one was bad. There was no real cringe moments from these villains.
No, the best part
I
of the movie.
just felt like there was something missing from it. But yeah, no, pretty good.
I'm going to let you lead the action,
Yeah.
because I just like was laughing at so much of it. I gotta trim myself down. So I'm gonna
Oh
let you. I'm
man.
just gonna comment on what you say, what you want to
Um,
bring up, because I'm
so
like, oh my god, I write so much of it up.
I don't, yeah, I'm probably going to be pretty light here.
That's fine.
Because I
I'll
don't think there's a
expand on
whole
that.
lot, right? So anyway, I guess like the first kind of like pseudo kind of action slash horror thing is just the meter dude being electrocuted
Oh,
off screen.
before that, sir, very beginning of the movie, how do you not love the introduction of Paul Fox?
What do you mean?
It's supposed to be scary, where it's like
Oh, that
she's
he's
looking
coming up from
around,
the basement or
she's
whatever?
looking around for like the strange noise and what's going on, and he's just completely in darkness. And then he lights his lighter, and all of a
Right.
sudden, like, "Hey, Christy!" He's like in this like yellow bathrobe with polka dots. It's like it's supposed to look menacing. It's like, what is
Right.
this?
He was doing some work in his study, but his study's on the other side of the house or whatever. Like,
But it's supposed to be like that was supposed to be set up to be scary, and it's just so bad. It's funny to me. Like there's a lot of
okay.
this.
Yeah, maybe that's why I just completely ignored that part because I didn't think anything of it, right? So like the first thing I thought was like, oh, the meter person died. But again, it's like all off, we find out after the fact, kind of off the screen. So it's like whatever,
Yeah.
right? So and I feel like the next type of like actiony thing is just her riding a bike and chasing him around in several scenes. So it's like
Well,
there's not
let's
much
get to
there
where she
either.
gets to the house though, because there's some bit of hilarity there for me too.
Okay,
So she gets to the
because
house and
the
she's
real thing I have is the car failure stuff is really the first
nah,
thing.
I have that next, but like this is so funny to me.
Okay,
And you might have been like too bitter about this movie and not enjoying it the way I was, which was the
fair
right way.
enough, I guess. Let your
Um,
freak flag fly, buddy.
so she's going to the house. She finally gets there. She's tailed him all the way. Sees Brenda on his lap, lighting his cigarette,
Right?
and then all she's turning away. Finally caught the guy and runs into Lacey, and she freaks out, turns around again, and for some reason there is a fish tank right in her path, sitting on top of two cinder blocks, a third of the way filled with water. That she just like trips through, and just like have glass and something break, and just like, why is that there? Why on earth is there a fish tank just right there in her path?
Gosh,
It's
I
so
guess yeah.
bizarre.
Okay, yeah. I don't even remember that. Okay.
It's like this little like bizarre action stunt. And like, why?
Okay, maybe you should have led that. I mean, I
It's
don't even
so funny.
recall that part, but yeah.
I had to
The
rewind a couple of times to watch the fish tank stunt because it made me laugh so hard. I was like, what is this? Why?
Yeah. The first real thing I have is for whatever reason, and I think her best friend is still alive at this point, but she convinces Josh.
She's out sick that day.
Is that what it is? Okay, so she convinces
So
Josh to drive or help.
blackmails him.
Yeah, like because he was hitting on somebody,
No, well, he's like,
right?
that doesn't work, gonna
Flirting or
work.
whatever.
It's like, well, I'll tell Janie's parents that you're sleeping together. He's
Oh
like,
yeah, that's right. She starts off with that, but then goes there. Yeah, so then like basically he's just in the car as she drives because she's like a good driver, or she
she's got a
claims.
learner's permit.
Yeah.
It's her mom's car.
And she's a terrible driver.
Awful.
Very
Like
clearly,
hilariously
like,
bad.
yeah, right away. And he comically jokes about it at the end of the thing. But clearly the car's been tampered with, right? So it's speeding up and she's swerving everywhere, kind of deal. And Josh is like yelling instructions of what to do next and turn the engine off and all that kind of stuff. And the
Oh,
brakes are gone too.
well, the brakes aren't working. The
Right.
gas pedal is stuck, and Josh brilliantly takes the keys out, and she's like, "Now the wheel is stuck." I'm like, "Yeah, that's something that still happens today." I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I'm like, I was wondering, like, in 1984, can you just take the key out of the ignition? Because you can't do that today. But yeah, if you do, the steering wheel will no longer work. That's
Yeah.
definitely a thing. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, all right.
Anyway, right? And so it's a lot of just swerving around and like narrowly missing stuff, I guess. It's okay. Um and then I don't even remember how she's eventually able to completely swing the car around and it
The
slams into
brakes
another
all of a
parked
sudden
car.
work for some reason,
Yeah,
which doesn't make any sense.
it's weird, right? It's like all of a sudden it's she's able to do something to make it swerve and hit into
Oh,
another
that part
car.
doesn't make any sense. But yeah, the brakes suddenly work, and
Yeah.
there's a
And
lady with
she's
a baby carriage in front of
able to
her.
get it to a mechanic and everything and find out what happened to the car
Well,
without
it's
her
her mom's
parents.
place, so obviously they had to have found out at some point.
You
But
don't think the mom would have found out?
I don't know. She probably just owns the place. She doesn't care.
Yeah. All right, I'll just help the kid out.
And Paul's not going to do anything because he set that up. And he's like,
Yeah, that's true.
ah.
So anyway, so yeah, that's the first kind of thing I have there. Um, and so after that, I guess I have what happens to Janie.
Come on, they're doing it
Yeah, and so she goes up and finds them doing it
at the
again.
no-tell motel this time.
Yeah, and a pretty sketchy looking motel. It seems like in the middle of nowhere. And so she like runs back to get JD. Is like, come on, like you
They're
gotta
doing
come.
it.
And so like immediately they come
What are they
up and
doing?
like,
They're fucking.
yeah, Paul took a timeout because he got to get some ice.
Gotta get the ice.
I gotta get some ice. We're about to do it, but somehow we need ice now. And so it's like a nice little like Quentin Tarantino Kill Bill like well, like, oh
Good call.
no. Um, and so it immediately turns into like a weird little chase sequence. So they run away. Paul
Which
gets like knocked into things to fall down.
Paul like trips over a maid's cart. He's out
Right.
for the count within seconds. But
Yeah.
these
He
girls
really
like run
goes
like a
down
fucking
hard.
mile, like through the people's backyards into the woods, and end up on like a deserted road. Which somehow, whoever was in Brenda's car finds them and
Yeah.
runs
Just,
Janie over.
yeah. And that's the part that made me laugh.
That made you laugh?
That stunt of sorts.
You didn't like the dummy?
Oh, it was pretty funny. It was so I just felt like it was so oh, something you would see in like Austin Powers or something. Like it was pretty bad the way she's like, ah, and then you get this slow-mo like close up of it hitting her legs somehow and the dummy flying and you're just like and they really like cover the face up with blood
Yeah.
too, which is pretty funny. And she's like, and then you're just like, they just killed her. Like, dang, like, all right, like,
She dies on the operating table.
yeah, apparently, but like, it seems like she's almost dead right away. They made the look, but yeah, you say later, or they say later that she died at the hospital, or whatever. But like, wow, um, like it just seemed like such a jump from where we were.
Oh, it's certainly the violence had escalated to a new level now. Like, oh,
Yeah, it's like where
yeah,
was this the whole movie, you know?
right.
So that was as much as it was ridiculous and I laughed out loud, like it was still enjoyable to watch. Um,
How about the mom going flying from the bent riser? That was a nice stunt. Good fall down the stairs.
I didn't even include it. No, I didn't care. I didn't think there was anything there that was interesting. Actually, the next thing I have is her trying to take the Polaroid picture.
Yeah, no, that's a good scene actually. It's actually like almost really well done.
Yeah,
Especially the part where after she's got the Polaroid picture, she stupidly leaves the picture in the house because it falls out. Forgets how a
right.
Polaroid camera
Well, yeah,
works.
that's why I was like, oh, the semantics of a Polaroid because she's like trying to push it through the window, but the window, like the pane there is still there, so she can't quite grab it, so it falls, and then she's like, oh shit, kind of thing. And then it's like alerted her presence almost immediately. So then she's got to go hide. And then they go outside to find her. And then when they're kind of starting to snoop around, she goes back inside to not alert. Like it's actually like a nice little
Cat and
ruse
mouse. Yeah,
thing
yeah,
that
yeah.
they got going on here.
And then
And
it
and
goes to an extra level when the picture and starts like beating up Brenda, and then
yeah,
like what's it? Christy is in the bathroom already hiding, and then
in the
Brenda goes into the
bathtub,
bathroom
yeah.
to hide, and like Lacey's like break down the door and like beats her up again. He's like, "Don't bleed on the floor," and
Yeah,
like Christy's just like in the bathtub, like with the shower curtains, like
but it's a nice moment too where Brenda's got beat up, right? And she looks almost like mild concussion or something going
yeah.
on, right? So and then she sits on the edge of the tub where the husband's like, "Here,
He
sit
turns
here,
the water
whatever."
on, yeah.
Yeah, and like and then like you start to see the shower curtain break open and
Right,
she's
she just
behind
sits
the
on the
shower curtain.
curtain.
So it's like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
this is actually a nice little tension build up.
Yeah.
Could have been done a lot better, but I like
Oh yeah.
this. I like the idea behind it, right?
Hmm.
And of course, it doesn't end up being revealed, right? So like, they all leave, and it's like, oh, she's gonna get away, and she stoops out, and then you have a nice moment
Well,
where
she gets
like
saved by
Lacey's,
Josh.
well, yeah, Josh is
This
that's where
just
she's like,
happens
oh,
to
you
be
were in the
there to knock.
school
So I
again,
just
so I
figured you were
came
here.
here, yeah. Um, but it allows her time to get out, but Lacey's right there to get her. So it does give you a nice moment of like, oh, she's done, she's cooked, she got
Yeah,
caught.
yeah,
But it's
yeah.
like a nice moment again of being like, nah, this is gonna get me what I want because I he's in it for the money, right? So here's the picture, like this is gonna get Paul Fox moving here. So
All
yeah,
my all my life I've wanted to love and to be loved. But sure, love sure can do terrible things. At least now I know it's over. Music changes and the dark silhouettes of Paul, Brenda, and Lacey start approaching the house. And I actually really like the shot of three
I
dark
do.
silhouettes approaching the house. It's like, oh, this looks cool. Shit. What happened?
Um, yeah, and I think that's what's on the poster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I kind of like, it's like you almost wish that was the whole movie, right? Like
Yeah.
it's something like I feel like the strangers will kind of take way later down the road, right? Um, which I want to rewatch that movie, by the
I
way.
know we both need to give it another shot.
Yeah, because I think we were just in a bad
We
environment.
bad worst theatrical experience of my life.
Yeah, and I think that's always a thing that I'll say is sometimes some movies you just need to be in the right environment for, and if the wrong environment gets it, it's hard to get into.
Yeah.
So I agree. But anyway, I do like that look, right? Like I feel like
It's a cool looking
um
shot.
it's a cool looking shot, but I think like
The music is
man,
finally good for half a second in this movie because the music
right.
throughout is like, oh
Yeah,
my
it's real
God.
bad, and we'll get to the music more. But it's such a like this would have been a nice setup for a movie.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like this is where it starts, because it's
sure.
like, oh, cool. Like you imagine like a trailer, like that's where the trailer goes into like, oh, crazy, right?
Well, that's the thing. Unfortunately, everything before this just feels like bad Lifetime movie.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden they started in the house like, oh, we're in a new movie now. Hey,
We're in a
how's it
different
going?
movie. Oh,
This
yeah.
is much more entertaining and interesting.
Like again, this is where it kind of gave me class of 1984 vibes.
Sure.
Um, although I class 84 is a better movie.
Look,
Um,
Chrissy, no hands. And Paul shoves Catherine's
oh,
wheelchair and she
good
crashes into the rug at the main
Lord.
entrance.
Yes, they shoved this woman around a lot.
Oh man, they do. He really hates her.
Really throws her around in the wheelchair. That got me a couple times. Like, oh, and then like going down the hallway and then down the stairs. You're like,
Yeah, yeah.
oh
They put her
man,
back in the wheelchair just so he can drag her back to the cellar stairs and tell her again, "This is for every time I had to kiss you," and throws her down the damn stairs. Like
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
damn. And then they do it to the daughter. They just throw her
Yeah.
down the stairs too. You're like, wow, all right.
Nobody gets a cut or a bruise. Very impressive.
It is very impressive. But
Everyone knew how to really fall down the stairs in those families.
the movie turns up a notch a bit
Yeah.
with the sequence. So
Oh,
much
so
appreciative. Yeah.
funniest scene in the movie happens just a few minutes after this.
Oh, I'm curious what you're gonna say. Okay.
I fucking died.
Okay.
Um, so I guess we've already mentioned before. I'm sorry, Christy starts trying to play Paul off of Lacey and
Right.
Brenda, telling him like you're being set up and everything like that.
Because I've already heard all your plans basically
Right.
separately, so I know what's going on.
And Paul's like, okay. And then he goes back to the kitchen by himself to see Lacey and Brenda sitting down at the table. And Tim, go ahead and take a look at your phone because they just sent you the
I
picture
know
of this
I don't
scene.
have to. I can look at my picture.
Oh, okay.
The ketchup bottle.
Oh my God.
Oh, because of the way the hands touched.
Hey, babe, can you give me the ketchup? He basically fondles her hand like he's jerking off her hand on the bottle of ketchup for like 3 seconds.
Yeah, I forgot about this. Yeah.
I died. I
No,
had to pause
I
the
actually
movie
do
and just
remember
die
taking
for a
note.
few
I don't think
minutes.
I had notes on this part because I was laughing and I forgot to take notes of it because I do as you're sending this to me, I'm like, yes, I remember this
It's
part.
so funny. And the
Yeah,
best part of it is, I noticed this on the second viewing this evening.
yeah,
There's nothing on his plate. He's done.
yeah. He's just well, some people just like ketchup,
I guess. Yeah,
I
he's just
guess,
gonna lick. He
beyond
just
me,
pours him
but you
down
know,
his throat. But yeah, but like the jerking off the ketchup bottle on his wife's hand, just like what the hell is going on?
right. And so that alerts him, like, oh, you don't want me.
Yeah, he's like, hey, that's not something a brother and a sister would do. That's weird.
Which
So
it's weird that like. Why the brother and sister thing?
Because he
Couldn't
doesn't. Because
but
where else is
couldn't
he
you
gonna
have
go?
but couldn't you have convinced him like I'm in a loveless marriage and I want to be with you?
I guess, but you don't want to create the suspicion. You just want to make everything is fine.
It would have helped
Uh,
actually them keep a little bit more because what weird conversation would have possibly like, hey, your sister really gave me a hard time today or something. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, there's so many weird ways that could have gone.
Listen, they're not the best, especially Paul. So whatever. Let's just get on to the next part, which also
Okay.
made me laugh really hard. So like, Paul goes down to the cellar. Like, Chrissy, come upstairs. I want you to prove your bullshit.
Yeah.
And
Isn't it
Brenda,
like basically like make a sandwich? I like her
no,
sandwiches.
better, better. It's better
Okay.
than that.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
It's something like that.
Paul brings Chrissy into the kitchen, and Brenda's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And Paul
Why you
says,
bring her up here?
"She's gonna make blueberry pancakes.
Oh, that's
She
right.
makes
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
great." And Brenda's like, "I can make pancakes. Kid makes them better. How do you know? You ever taste my pancakes?" I died again. I was like,
Yeah.
"What is this movie? It's incredible."
Yeah. No, it's nutty.
And he tells Chrissy like before they go up there, like, play cool, just follow my lead. And Chrissy just like is listening to this like, okay.
Yeah.
Hey Brenda, how long have you and Lacey been married? Like that's like, kid, that is not cool.
Yeah.
He's just out with it, and Lacey just like flips out. It's like, you bitch or whatever, and Paul brings out the gun like, oh, you bastards.
Yeah. They start fighting.
And yeah, and Lacey just and then well, Brenda's like, no, baby, you had it all wrong. It's all good. And then she slaps the
Yeah.
gun out of his hand, and then Lacey just beats the shit out of him.
I actually was like okay with this. Like the fight sequence actually seemed all right, to be
Oh, it's
honest.
fairly realistic, apparently, too, according to the actor
To be
playing
yeah,
Paul Fox.
yeah, to be honest,
Uh,
like it didn't look like people were really pulling that many punches, but it always seemed like
no, no, I think it was it's like, yeah, let's not use stuntmen. Let's just do this for
let's just do
ourselves.
it.
And apparently that was something the actor later regretted. It's like, yeah, I'm never doing that again. I bruised some ribs, and I was like, every time I laughed, it hurt for like months.
But like it looked kind of like a real fight, to be honest, right?
Yeah, no, it's
Because like
good.
so many times I feel like, right, you definitely see fights that are like, okay, choreograph, all that kind of stuff. It's like actually that looks more like a legitimate natural fight kind of deal. Um, and yeah, he clearly like loses there. He had a
What's
couple shots, but he loses.
What's incredible here is that Chrissy's just like watches this for a few minutes instead of like going for her
Yeah.
phone, and then she's like,
Yep.
instead of going for the phone, even after watching, she eventually runs away and goes to get her mom. Yeah, yeah, you're gonna get her out of the basement real fast. But
Yeah.
Lacey's already got a freshly ass kicked Paul waiting for her at the top of the stairs.
Yep.
And she's like, now he's just gonna do everything I say, and you're still gonna die. I was like, oh shit, Lacey, hell yeah. Next
Yeah.
time you hear me coming, it's to kill you. And that's in about 2 hours. Have a nice wait, ladies. I was like,
Yeah.
Lacey, outstanding work.
Although at the same time, it's like, Lacey, why are we so stuck at 2 a.m.?
I really have no idea.
It doesn't make
Perfect time for
sense.
robbers. I don't know.
I mean, and you gotta love where he's like, ooh, gee, ah, like, and eventually has to be like, all right, it's close enough. It's like, now it's close enough to 2 a.m. Like, seriously, like, what is, they pissed you off enough. Like, it's so ridiculous.
Well, they've since they stuck him in the basement and they got the breaker box right there. Chrissy comes up with a plan, tells her mom to hit the lights after like 20 seconds, so she goes to use the bathroom or whatever.
Yeah.
And Chrissy uses this time to run away from them. Does a lot of like running around in the dark.
Yeah,
Uh,
actually, this scene made me laugh because I thought it was pretty ridiculous, right? So
well,
the lights go off, and as soon as it goes off, she like takes the door because it's like one of those bathrooms like where
yeah, she
basically
just smacks her in the
with
face. Yeah,
within the bathroom, the toilet is in its own little closet within the bathroom. It's one of those, you know what I mean?
that's right.
Which is weird. They exist. I've been in those bathrooms. It's always bizarre. But anyway, so she uses that door within the bathroom to like hit Brenda with the door to like run out. And so then she grabs a kitchen knife and like
Now, like, wait, let me set the
okay.
scene for what Christy is wearing throughout this final sequence,
Okay, fair enough.
because it is something special. My girl is, oh, I have it written down here, wearing a pink shirt, pink belt, blue jeans, pink ankle warmers, and pink shoes.
You don't wear that when you try to play,
Listen,
hiding.
and
What was that game called when everybody hides in the dark? Gosh,
Manhunt.
Manhunt. Thank you. Yes, Manhunt.
Well, let me tell you, she actually convincingly hides in the dark for much of this movie, and at the end, I can't see her at times, and I'm like, man, this really just you can get blue and gray Batman on the movies. It's fine. It'll work.
Yeah, if
Batman
it's
can wear
dark enough,
blue
I
and look,
guess.
yeah, and be in the dark. You can't see him. She's wearing
Yeah.
pink. I can't see her. But
I don't know.
eventually, Lacey
There's a few
does.
times I think because of the way she is dressed and being this small little girl with a knife, like it
She's
just
very
like
tiny.
this is where Chucky comes from, right? This little thing with a knife. And then like
Oh my God.
you know what I mean? Like because like all of a sudden like lights flick on and she's like with the knife kind of deal. And you're like son of a
I
gun, right?
I would love to talk to Tom Holland about that now,
Right?
because he
And
is the
then
one who
like
directed and co-wrote Child's Play.
yeah, it's like she stabs Paul in the leg,
Well, even before that, she
and now Paul's
stabs
looking around, and then she gets
stabs
Lacey
Lacey
in
in
the
the
arm.
arm. Right, yeah, and then she's hiding behind this like tiny ass settee, uh, this like little tiny ass couch. That, like
Yeah,
nobody can find her, even though there are three adult human beings in this hallway.
yeah,
But the lights are off, so like can't find her.
yeah.
She could be anywhere in this
It's a
whole
big
hallway.
hallway, but yeah.
Not big enough.
No, it's bigger than a normal person's hallway, right? We're in a rich
Sure,
person's hallway, but yeah, fair enough. But it does it's like it's ridiculous when you're watching it. Like it's like
it starts off fine, and then it gets sillier and sillier.
right. Like I really would have thought like it would have played better, and I guess I should have known better. But like because yeah, after a while you're like this, especially like the last time where like Paul like puts the lighter up, right?
Yeah,
And
after he's been stabbed in the leg, he's like, hey, what does this help? And he puts his lighter on, which is like this giant Zippo lighter. I don't know why he's
right.
got this
And
giant
she like
Zippo.
runs away like a little gremlin up the
Well,
stairs.
first
There's lots of light.
she throws the knife at him. It's like,
Yeah.
ah!
It's like what?
And yeah, Lacey and Paul go and search upstairs everywhere but her fucking
But her
room.
bedroom. But her
Yeah.
bedroom.
And Christy finds a Swiss Army knife in her desk and gets to work on restarting
Oh,
the
there's
gas
another that's
trap.
another one that made me laugh because they almost play this different music when she finds the knife or whatever, the pocket knife or whatever, and it's like okay. I thought the kitchen knife was scarier. I don't know about this.
Yeah. Sorry, man. Every kid, every boy who ever owned a Swiss Army, like this shit is not sharp at all.
Yeah, remember
Can
trying to
barely
whittle
whittle a
sticks in Boy
stick.
Scouts? Yeah, with that
Yeah.
thing, you're like, ah, man, who's got the Bowie knife? Like, help me.
How about Brenda going down to the cellar and just like fucking pistol whipping her mom? She gives
Really?
her a
Yeah,
couple
it
good
gets her
smacks in
good.
the head.
Yeah,
Can't
yeah,
believe
right
the
in the
mom came out
face.
of this thing alive.
Yeah,
Um,
severely concussed for sure.
so let's see. Oh yeah, and that's where like I don't know. They get her out, and Paul like starts like no, sorry, Lacey starts like choking her like Chrissy over like the railing, and that's where Josh
Yeah,
comes by. Like never underestimate the horny 17-year-old kid. Like he's gonna keep coming. He tried calling and got blown up. He's gonna keep
right.
coming.
Well, eventually they like convince her enough, like, okay, we're just gonna go murder your mom if you don't come out,
Right.
right? And so that kind of gets her out. So she's basically put back down in the basement, especially after the Josh thing,
No, they're
right?
gonna
Or no, they got to
after the
bring her
Josh
back
thing,
up. That's right. That's right.
they're gonna start bringing her to the bedroom to kill her, and they're separating them, and that's when they're just
Oh, they
waiting
have
for
to
like
do cleanup too
right.
because
They
of
had
her
to like
knife thing. They have to like, oh,
look at all this
this is
blood.
this. We gotta make the cops believe this, so we gotta clean up.
Right, and then since she rigs the
Yes,
thing to
the
blow
electrical
after like
box type stuff.
yeah,
She rigs it just like her stepdaddy did.
right, but
Paul
this time
Fox.
well.
Right.
Uh,
I guess a
and,
better drip. I don't know.
and like to stall time, like Chrissy like pulls out the pocket knife and stabs Lacey through the hand on the. It was
Yeah.
just like whoa, that
Yep.
escalated again. And then like Paul's about to just like it's like fuck it, I'm just gonna shoot her right here.
Well,
Uh,
you got it, and I like to because at this point, like Paul's like clearly pretty messed up. He's
yeah,
like limping around and like he got beat up earlier. Like he's
no more running,
got a
baby.
rough
It's all
day.
over.
Yeah.
I like my dude at one point is like just like drinking by himself, watching some French Foreign Legion movie on TV, just like
Yeah, he's just watching TV.
defeated.
Like, yeah, I'm just in it for what I'm being told to do at this point to keep myself alive, kind of deal.
Yeah.
And it's weird that you like almost like put him in this weird sympathetic kind of role all of a
Yeah,
sudden,
right.
even though he's a villain.
Um, anyway, the lights finally go out. Paul takes a shot, but Chrissy's mom smacks the gun away in time, so Chrissy's okay. And that's where Josh is sitting outside with his dad. Like, I told you something was wrong. You heard that? And like, yeah. So the cops are starting to come. Uh, Brenda goes to fix the lights, and she gets electrocuted to death.
What was
Honestly,
your
I thought they should have gone bigger. I would have wished they had
okay.
gone bigger.
This is where I got Home Alone vibes, like Home
Right.
Alone 2, where like we should just did a shot of her as a skeleton at this point. Because it's what happens in Home Alone 2. Like it was so like blow her hair back kind of stuff and everything that they really go for it. That is just like this is pretty ridiculously funny. I enjoyed it, don't get me wrong. Like I actually was like my only notes is like we should have gone bigger. Yeah.
I agree. Uh, Lacey goes to check. Oh, actually, I should mention Lace when they're all separated. Christy goes up to her room again because that's the only
Her
place she
safe
hides.
space.
It's the only
Where'd she
place we've
go?
actually built. The set was only so big.
Yeah.
Um, and Lacey goes to go check, go after the mom. And like there's a part where like a mom is just like hiding behind like a chair in like the living room, and he just like kicks the chair and she just falls over. Like,
That's all she knows how to do in this movie. She just falls everywhere. Poor
right.
woman. Poor actress.
And
She got to
then
do a
he's
lot of falling.
yeah, and then he's about to kill the mom, but then the light what he goes to go check on Brenda because the lights have gone out or something. I
Yeah,
forget.
I think that's what it is. Yeah,
Right.
because that's where he
Or
kind of
he
discovers
hears
his
Brenda
wife's
die,
dead.
I guess.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
And then
Because there's a little bit of emotional scene where it seems like he's like pretty upset that Brenda's dead.
right, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And then Chrissy's playing cat and mouse with Paul. She's hiding behind the bed, and she sets. And Paul's like, "I'm gonna find you." He's like
right.
narrating his own danger.
And by the way, meanwhile, before that
The gas
happened,
trap she already set up was
she set
yeah,
up
yeah.
the gas trap that
And
he
she's like,
set up earlier.
she's hiding behind the bed and just like rolls a tennis ball to hit the bathroom door. He's like, "Oh, you're in there. I'm
Yep.
gonna come and get you."
Meanwhile, the lights are out,
Giant
so he's
Zippo
walking
lighter.
around with his little
Yeah,
torch.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which is, uh, I
It's a good
kind of like it.
explosion. It's a
I
good
liked it. It's
explosion.
a good explosion. He opens the door and immediately gives like an oh shit face kind of deal because he almost seems like he knows what's about to happen as soon as he opens the door. And yeah, you get the outside exterior shot of the explosion coming out the windows, which is actually pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you see him like a little too Looney Tunes.
Or
Yeah.
not Looney Tunes enough.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe his hair needed to be more blown back, but he had like soot and just black on his face and everything
Yeah,
to make him
yeah.
look like he was burned. Like that made me
He
like
should have looked like more hamburgery.
right. Like if his hair was more blown with it, it would have been straight up Looney Tunes with it. You know what I mean? Like just you could not get more than that. But like it was pretty close, but it was still pretty funny. And he just kind of like falls, like I think he takes a step back and then falls down dead kind of deal. Which was like, damn, all right. But again, it gives me that class of
Bye,
1984
Paul
vibes
Fox.
where all of a sudden like people get taken out left and right towards the end of a movie. um,
But Josh and the police save Christy and the mom. And then the next day, like she's recuperating at Josh's fucking house in
yeah, which
his
is
bed.
weird. Which is the detective's house too, to be fair, I guess. But still,
Police commissioner, don't
police
convert him.
commissioner, right? Yeah. And they're like, we're gonna send someone. Not that there's someone already there. We're gonna send someone. It's like you
I'm
think,
going to send Josh to come check on you. Everything's fine. Lacey is a million miles away. We don't know
yeah.
where he
Well, I
is.
could have
He's
sworn
clearly
they
not
said
here.
something about having some kind of people outside too, of it, but it's like someone wasn't there yet. You know what I mean? Like it was,
Probably. I don't know.
yeah.
And through the magic of Blu-ray definition, you can just barely see Lacey hiding in the bushes while mom gets in the car.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like it's there for a split second. You can see him just like,
He's a tall dude too, so
yeah,
I'm amazed I missed it because it probably would look ridiculous if you saw it. Like, where's Waldo or something?
it's funny. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, it's there. He's right there. Um, Yeah, so Christy's just hanging out in this her boyfriend's, well, I don't know what the hell they call him, bed.
I guess they love each other, Patrick. I don't know.
Um, and she all of a sudden starts hearing noise again.
Yep.
And she's like, Josh, is that you? Josh? Nobody responds for way too long. And then,
Way too
hey,
long.
it's Josh.
Yeah, it is Josh.
Josh, you dick. You couldn't have said something?
And he like basically barged into his own bedroom.
Yeah.
Like
And
he
then he
really
starts like
came in that doorway quick. And you're like,
making the moves on her right away. Time to make out.
yeah, it's like,
Everything's okay now.
dude.
And then all of a sudden, blood starts dripping on the pillow, and like, oh, it is. Lacey's here too. Actually, I
Right.
thought like is she making out with Lacey? Is there something going on in her head? Because like the blood doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because you're immediately almost reminded of the earlier scene where she was bleeding type of things. What I was starting to think is like, where is that blood coming from this time? You
I
know,
hadn't
like,
thought about that. That's funny though. Um, yeah. Anyway, he's got a candlestick and knocks Josh on the head,
yeah,
and he's like, "Now I'm coming out. I'm gonna kill you." And turns out that Christy's prepared for this.
yeah.
Has a
She already had a
giant knife
knife.
under her
Yeah,
bed, under her pillow, and just like stabs him right in the gut.
I well like stabs or slices or something. He gets
No,
no stabs.
stabs him.
Stabs.
He
He gets
goes
knocked
against.
back,
Yeah,
and then she goes to jam the knife in further.
yeah, which I
So she
liked.
really just went up. That's why I was like, please give me like I'm a killer now vibes after this. You know what I mean? That's what I because she just killed a lot of people in a short time frame.
She calls her house where her mom and Josh Dealey's dad are to tell Miss Dealey about Lacey being there. It's like, Miss Dealey, I think this time you believe me. End of movie.
Yeah.
Um,
And that is where the song kicks in from the DVD menu.
Misty. Do, 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 do.
Wow. Yeah. And you warned me.
It's so funny.
And you wanted me to record myself. I don't know if I'm gonna put it up in the podcast, but
I don't blame
especially
you.
because it'd be weird with the audio. But anyway, but yeah, I definitely gave like a look of like, what?
Well,
What is
I, I
this?
sent I sent you over the MP3 so you could put it on the
Yeah, so at least
play a
everybody
little
else
clip
can
of it.
hear what the song is. Here it
Yeah.
is.
Um,
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it's just like this does not make any sense. And that's why I'm watching this movie. I'm like, how is this a horror movie? Like I don't get horror vibes at all from this movie.
Listen, people die. It's a home invasion. That is scary. Listen, just because it's not
Sure. Are you calling Panic Room a horror movie?
no,
It's like a
but
thriller.
I
It's a
could see someone
thriller.
saying it. You know what? In a world where people will like argue to death if Silence of the Lambs is a horror movie or not, I'm like, I'm not getting into this. So they want to include it in horror. Great, I'll include it in horror. I don't care.
I mean, I guess that's like the dividing line almost, right? I don't know. I kind of get the Supreme Court ruling of, pornography,
You know when you
I
see
know it
it.
when I see it. So I just didn't get the horror vibe from this
I'm not
movie
saying it succeeds at all.
at
It's
all.
fascinating. Like it's
Yeah,
incompetently directed, unless he was trying to do a satire, which
right.
the script doesn't support, but it's fascinating all the same. Like I don't, it's a jumbled mess.
Yeah, I got as much as like this movie's got so many problems, like it's not boring. Like
No, but like I'm
it's
not
an
sure if that's on
interesting
purpose or not.
watch.
It's so funny, and I can't figure out if
It's
it's intentional or
funny.
not.
It's
Like
also insane at times.
if it's supposed to be a satire, none of the actors got that message because they're
Right.
all playing it straight. So it's like when it becomes
Which sometimes can
satirical, it's
work.
so fascinating. It comes directly from the direction.
I mean, because
So it's like,
sometimes even comedy is better when it's played straight,
sure, when there's
right?
a straight man, or it's like,
Right.
but like everyone is playing this completely straight, but it's like in the direction is where it's funny.
Right.
Like there's nothing, that's scene with the ketchup bottle. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
That's just from the direction. The scene where Chrissy is running through and a half empty fish tank. Like, why is a fish tank outside in front of the house?
I
Doesn't make
don't
any
know.
sense, but it's
Doesn't make
very
any
funny.
sense. Yeah. Yeah. It's.
There's a lot of stuff like that. I'm like, I don't get it, but I like watching this movie. But I can't give it
Well,
a
you
high
watched it
score
a
either.
second time, right? So dang.
Because I said, like, did I see what I saw? Yep.
Yep, you did. Um, we haven't even gotten side characters. Action, I gave it a 1.5.
I give it the same thing because
Okay. It's
it's
interesting that we're like debating this and we're giving it basically the same score so
it's
far.
not good, but
It's
it's so
not.
fascinatingly not good.
Yes, I think that's the right way to put
It's
it.
so
Like it's
funny, not
yeah.
good. It's so
You're
bad, it's good.
there's times where we watch bad things where it's a slog and you're like, I'm not enjoying anything. And then this movie is not good, but you're watching it and you're just fascinated by its fail.
Yeah.
And it's not always because as we mentioned too already in this episode, like there's things like I kind of like this and I kind of like that. And so that's why I almost said like this wouldn't be a bad idea for a remake because there's
Uh,
stuff here.
I'm sure Tom Holland would love it if someone just like did his original
Original
script.
scripts,
Yeah.
probably.
I'll get into that later. But
Yeah. Side
so yeah,
characters.
supporting characters. Josh Steely, uh,
Josh is a weird dude.
played by Corey Parker. He would go on to play one of the greasers in Friday the 13th Part 5. So, my dude.
Okay. All
Uh,
right. I did not realize that. I definitely saw he had one of the longer IMDb credits.
yeah, yeah. He was also in Biloxi Blues and How I Got into College. I think he's working as a acting coach part-time too. I saw he had a credit for Miss Marvel as an acting coach.
Oh wow.
Which I
Okay.
thought was
Good
fascinating. So
for
he's
him.
still working, but he's good.
Yeah.
Uh, he's the police commissioner's son and starts off this movie dating Christy's friend Janie. My dude is a horn dog,
Yeah.
and we see him flirting with another girl while dating and banging Janie. By the way, the look on Josh's face when Christy walks in on him and Janie, fucking priceless. And he's just like,
Well, it
got me
seems to
fucking,
happen to him a couple times, right? Because he
got me
basically has a
fucking.
similar look after he gets caught with Christy as well.
Yeah,
Like in
like
the same position. Like,
I'm good at what I do. You caught me.
you got me here. Yeah.
But like, yeah, after Janie's death, he suddenly has feelings for Christy, and I just because he's like, also like the only one who believes her, defends her from some
Yeah.
bullies at school, and convinces dad to come with him when he knows something's up at Christy's house.
Which is
Um,
so weird because like even after the car incident,
my
right?
favorite is when he's like seducing Christy too, and he like
Oh, it's a weird scene, dude.
it's so
Outside?
funny. No, no, I'm
Outside the
talking
house? Okay,
no.
okay,
The first
okay,
time inside the house,
okay,
where he
okay,
goes in
okay.
for the kiss, and like she starts kissing him back, and she's like, "I'm sorry." You know, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. You were just sitting so close to me. Like, you sat down next to her.
Yeah.
You were sitting in a different chair than her, and then decided to sit
You
next down to her.
had intentions.
You did.
Yeah.
You know, you were just so sorry and lonely and about her, and I was too. I just thought it made sense." I was like, "Oh man,
It's especially because like everything before that scene like didn't make like there was no chemistry or sexual
he's
tension.
annoyed by her until
Yeah,
all of a
he
sudden, like,
mocks her like the entire
yeah,
time. He has joke after joke about her being a psycho or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, oh, like therapy jokes or
mhm.
whatever. Like you're a bad driver. Like there's always something to degrade her every step of the way. And she's like, I like it, I guess, because she goes for it immediately.
Just wanted to lose her cherry. Didn't matter who. It could have been a garbage man, Tim.
Yeah, well, clearly you get the inner monologue as you pointed out earlier. The inner monologues don't help. Where she's like, "Don't believe what I'm
Believe me,
saying." Yeah, it's like, oh no,
it's just that narration kills it every
it's so
time.
bad.
Can we talk about Josh's bedroom? My man is like a non-denominational New York sports fan.
Yeah, there's like a lot of weird
He
posters
has
going on in there.
pennants for the Jets, the Steelers, the Raiders, and the Giants. He's a poster of Terry Bradshaw, Lawrence Taylor, Phil Simms, an inflatable Yankees bat. He's got Islanders posters and a Larry Bird poster, which Josh makes kind of guy that Spike Lee would have really hated.
He's a sports bigamist, or he just wants to be like, hey guys, I like sports, like the with the Lonely Islands. I like sports, and I don't care who
I guess,
knows.
but there was only one basketball poster, and it's Larry Bird. So like Spike Lee's like this motherfucker. But I liked Corey Parker in this film. I thought he was good. Um,
I mean, as much as it's ridiculously written kind of deal, like he's not
directed.
bad. Well, yeah, you're. Well, I mean, it might be a combination of the both. To be fair, but like I honestly don't think there was anything that cringeworthy. And especially like in the car incident, like I thought he had some pretty nice deliveries of about her driving and all that kind of stuff. And even though he bad idea to take the key out, like I still thought there was some okay stuff from him in that scene. Oh, would you
Um,
send me now?
I sent you the picture I took of you can see him in the bushes.
Uh, oh my gosh.
There's Lacey.
That is a quick little. Okay. I'm okay that I missed that now.
um, Janie Ralston, played by Sandra Clark, in her only role. She's Janie's best friend, even though she
Oh
didn't
yeah.
tell her before she did anything with the boy. Thank you
How
for your
dare
nudity.
she?
Uh,
What? Thank you for
not
what?
her nudity. I
Oh
appreciate it.
yeah. I mean, wow.
Very prolonged topless scene.
She really, yeah, it was a lot, to be honest. Yeah, because like we got
Got
like,
gratuitous there at the end, which started to start changing in front of her and told her to go downstairs. Like, all right, now I just feel a little pervy
yeah, like it's a little like weird. It's like,
because it's like quick for the girl for the woman playing oh god Brenda. Like they do
right.
quick flashes. This one's like, yeah, we're just gonna leave the camera on her for a very long time. Like, all right,
Like,
you get the
and
point.
yeah, it's weird. She's like, "Oh, you caught me. Let me just slowly get out of bed, walk around the bed,
Find my
like,
sweater, which is somewhere over there. Yeah, yeah.
yeah." And it's like they really, it's like, "Wow, okay."
Thank
Uh,
you. I got
th-
the point, but I appreciate it all the same. Uh,
they were very nice. Yeah,
they were. Uh, Not sure of this actress' age because this is her only credit. Like I said, she looks like a decade older than Christy, especially when she's standing next to her.
yeah, a little lot older.
Uh, get the sense that Janie's a little more than tired of Christy's bitching about Paul, but they're still
Sounds like it's
best
been going on
friends.
for a while.
Janie wants to talk to Christy about her pregnancy.
I
Uh,
thought they were like sisters at first for a second. Like it was such a quick
their
jump.
sister, her older sister, living in a different house.
Yeah, like well, it was a weird jump to her all of a sudden being outside of a house. Like it was such a weird
Took a bike.
edit
Yeah.
that I almost missed it at first. But then like I quickly figured it out that I was wrong, but it was weird at first.
I appreciated Janie's being sensible, wanting to get an abortion because she's only 17 and wants to party and travel.
Yeah.
But this is Reagan's America in 1984, so she gets run down by a car and killed for the thought. God damn it.
Yeah, and like as much as she was like, "Hey, Christy, you're kind of being crazy or whatever," like she still ends up being the supportive friend too, and it's like, "Oh,
Yeah, sucks.
what'd she get for this? Dang." And like
But
she didn't get to see anything. She was just told to run and she ran. Like,
I'm
I
not
mean,
sure why we didn't see any more of her. This looks like an actress who could have been in like a dozen 80s horror movies. I thought she was fine, and too bad.
I guess maybe she thought this is all that's going to be asked of me maybe in the future, and I don't want to do that over and over again.
God,
Who
that's
knows?
depressing to think about, but you're probably right.
Right? I mean,
Uh,
yeah. It's kind of the era of it.
so I guess you have Chrissy's mom, Catherine Cromwell, played by Marie
Wow. I
Masters.
didn't even include her.
I didn't either until I just realized like I probably should at least talk about her real quick.
She's
She's
barely
on,
in the movie.
yeah, and every time she's just like believes whatever the Paul Fox says, and
Immediately.
it's like,
Yeah.
God, you're a shitty mom, just like the worst. She was on As the World Turns soap opera for like decades apparently,
Okay.
so fine,
Yeah.
not a great part. Um,
It's not. I mean the highlight of her, I feel like, is getting her scene thrown around and you're like, "Whoa. All right." Like maybe it would have hit even harder if like you seen her being like plausible character in the face of everything.
stupid, yeah.
Yeah, but otherwise you're like, man, this woman, I'm not so
It took me
sure.
a while to find out what her name was. Like, oh, it's Catherine. Oh, okay. I just calling her
Uh,
mom for a long time. Uh, so I also want to talk really quickly about
not as
Josh's
prominent as Paul Fox.
no, Josh's dad, played by Tony Sebald.
Hmm.
Um, like I said, when Christy meets him at the hospital, one of the worst acted scenes in the movie, which is really saying something.
Yes, it's not great.
And then he meets her again at the school and says she's just about the worst kid he's ever dealt with. I'm like, damn, that's a fuck thing to say.
Yeah, like he really turns
Yeah,
real quick on her just because she went to therapy.
really,
Um,
that's it.
yeah, it's like,
And like he does this move
okay,
where he sits in this swivel chair and he's just like telling her about how much she sucks and does this over and over again,
with a
going back and
smile.
forth. Yeah, he's like,
There's like a
it's like,
weird smile to his face.
but
Like it's
it's
not
like a
full on
pervy
smile.
bit to it, like the way he's
Yeah,
smiling
it's
at
like
her
a
too. It's like,
smirk.
Really unsettling.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either. I'm so happy you brought that up. Like, yeah, because I was taken back by it. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
I don't like it.
No. I also give this category a 1.5.
Ah, man, this is probably where I went too nice. I went
Oh,
two.
okay. Well, no.
I
So what's
didn't
your final
hate
score?
I didn't hate Josh and
Josh White
booms.
went up to,
I
yeah,
guess
that's
I
fine.
went eight.
I have a hate too, so it's fine.
Okay, so we evened out. I think is because I think there was another category you went slightly higher. I think hero you went slightly higher
A
at
villain.
by oh, it was a
Villain.
villain. Villain you went slightly higher at a half point. There you go. So yeah, it's clearly the bottom half at this point, right? Not by well, yeah. You actually wait. No, I don't know. Do you have this higher because you have a tie with Chud then at eight, right?
Yeah, I do. Um,
What do you think? Better or worse than Chud?
I am more likely to recommend someone watching this movie than I am Chud.
Well,
Just
all right,
because of like it's so bad. It's good.
okay. We're finally
Chud gets
opposite.
dull at parts.
Yeah,
This thing never gets dull, and for the reasons it doesn't want to be, but it's like, what? You're doing a lot of that while watching.
fair. I mean, yeah, I think I think if anything, it's splitting hairs. Like
These are
it's
not good
like
movies.
no, they're not. They're gonna be pretty low.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna put Chud over it. Well, I mean,
Your
I
allegiance
actually
to Daniel Stern is legendary. I love it.
I think he's great, but
He is great. Werewolf Bob Dylan. We love him.
uh, but I would say that Scream for Help is not a horror movie.
Okay.
And at least Chud attempts to be a horror movie. And so because of that alone, I'm like, yeah, no, Chud over this movie, which is not really a horror movie almost at all. That's why again, where I'm like, there could be something here, if you just kind of lean into that ending part where maybe, but sure. But I guess we kind of already got it. You know what I mean? uh, people come into the house kind of deal. We've kind of gotten various versions of that movie, so
Mm.
I guess it's kind of hard to say no. Anyway, so what is your interesting things?
Uh, you have well, first we should talk about the fact that the score for this movie was written by John Paul Jones from Led Zeppelin.
Did he write the Christie song?
Actually, I'm not sure on that one.
Oh man, that would be interesting. I have a friend at least that is like
Yeah,
Zeppelin is God, and so this would be fun.
yeah, he's the composer. He's the bassist for the Zeppelin. He,
So he did write this song?
I, I don't know if he wrote this song,
We need to find
Christie.
that out. Oh
I
my
know he didn't
gosh.
sing it because the
If
singer
you
is like
don't
John
find out
Anderson.
now, tell me later because I can't wait if it is true to be like, oh yeah, you love Zeppelin? How about this classic? And just put it on for him and see
All
what he
right.
says.
Well, that's not really fair.
No, it's not, but it's a fun trap.
Um, yeah, he did write it. John Paul Jones did write Christie.
Ah, okay, it's great.
Whew.
Um, that's
Uh,
fun.
so like yeah, there's some like fascinating like
Yeah,
score in this movie. Like I think the funniest one for me, besides the Christie song, which is
yeah,
wow,
yeah. It really takes you out.
is like when she's tailing Paul around town. All of a
Yeah,
sudden, the soundtrack sounds like something out of like the opening credits for like a late '70s, early '80s cop show.
yeah,
Like, so we're about to get into Kojak here. It's
yeah.
so
TJ
like,
Hooker or something. Yeah,
what
yeah,
is
yeah,
going on? Um. Anyway, so the interview with Tom Holland that's on the Blu-ray.
yeah.
Oh my God, does Tom Holland hate this movie too? So Tom Holland was just coming off of writing Psycho 2, which is a movie Tim needs to see.
I know you've been telling me for years now. I know. I need to get on it.
And also writing Cloak and Dagger. And Richard Franklin directed both of these movies, and he wanted Richard Franklin to direct this movie too. Richard Franklin wanted to make a movie he'd been wanting to make for years called Link, a movie about a killer chimp. So he passed.
Oh wow.
Um, and somehow it got into the hands of Michael Winner. And Tom Holland thought, oh, Michael Winner, okay, that's like he said, Death Wish and Sentinel. He's like, yeah, that's two trusted hands.
Yeah.
But he never really talked to him about like what his visions of the movie, because like when he worked on the movie with other movies with Richard Franklin, they like broke down scenes and how it should be shot, what his vision was when he was writing it, and so like they could be on the same page with everything.
Right.
Winner's like, I got it. It's okay. I love this screenplay. I'm barely gonna change it.
Changed a bunch.
Well, um, he's apparently when he was making Death Wish, and I think we talked about this while making Death Wish too. Uh,
Did we really? Oh my gosh.
is that he
Death
just
Wish 2.
when they were editing Death Wish, they just started taking out dialogue from the movie, and the movie got better and better. And so
Yeah.
like Michael Winner did the exact same thing in this movie, to the point where like
Oh,
things stopped making sense.
right. It
And so
had the
like Tom
opposite
Holland's watching, he's like,
reaction.
this doesn't. What did you
Yeah.
do? So like yeah, originally the script had her dad was dead, which is why no one ever talks about her dad
It
except for
would
her.
make more sense.
Uh, and then yeah, Holland was crushed when he saw the movie. Blames everything on Winner. Uh, the studio knew it was like a disaster. They tried to re-edit the movie, but like he didn't shoot everything,
You
so
just
he just like shot what he wanted to shoot, and so like
the
there wasn't
studio was
much they could
fine at first because
rearrange.
I'm sure it went under budget because of that.
No, the studio was not hit fine. They were like they didn't know what to do with it.
No,
He's
I
like
meant
this.
budget wise. Like it went under budget or
Yeah, they didn't
something.
complain while he was making it because
Exactly, that's what I meant.
they
Yeah, yeah,
weren't
yeah.
watching dailies. This wasn't that
Right, right,
time.
right, 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 right.
Um, but what it did do, this movie, was like gave Tom Holland the courage to go and direct his own movie. He's like, I can't do worse than that.
Yeah.
So he went and made Fright Night.
Which is a classic. Although again, I like the remake more.
You know who doesn't like the remake at all?
Tom Holland?
Tom Holland
I don't give a
took,
shit. I think he's
took
wrong.
all the comedy out of it. I'm like, sir, I like both of your movies. I'm not
I
gonna.
do. That's fair. I
I
want to
really like
preface.
the Fright Night remake, and I like the Fright Night original
I
quite a bit
like
for different reasons.
both. I think
Yeah.
that's fair. I like both. I just end up liking the remake more. But that's just could be my own personal taste. But I think that's a fair point. Like it's not
Uh,
like it doesn't mean the original's bad.
I think they're very different, and I like them equally.
Yeah, I think I get I don't know, I don't like it equally, but I get it. Like it doesn't mean the original was bad.
No.
Original was good. I just prefer the
Uh,
remake.
Holland was saying like I thought this movie was lost to time. No one ever talked to me about it. Never got brought up. I didn't see it in video stores. And then all of a sudden he says he saw it at Tarantino's New Beverly Theater.
Ha!
And he's like they were screening the five worst films of the 80s. And he's like, God damn
Oh
it.
no.
And he's
I
just
can't
like
imagine that's actually true. There's so
appa-
much bad in the 80s. I can't imagine
apparently
this would be.
the opening line is what really like sets the stage for like everybody just losing it in the theater.
That's fair. That's fair.
But it's worth like I don't know, 12 minutes of your time watching Tom Holland talk about this and how frustrating it is. Like, I think I swear, it's like, no, it was a good script. Everyone would remember this instead of The Stepfather if he had just made this movie into a horror movie. I don't know what he was doing. It doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense. He just took all the tension out of this thing. It's like, yeah,
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's very clear. And I guess that's the kind of again, you get kind of the bummers where you get to the ending part and you're like, well, this is a very different movie. And what if this was the whole way through or something, or even anything close to the opening of the stepfather and Christy in the beginning, right? Of lighting the match kind of deal. Like what if, there was more of that kind of deal. There's nothing.
right.
So,
There's also an interview there with David Allen Brooks, who played Paul Fox.
oh,
Uh,
really? Okay.
Less illuminating an interview. Just like, yeah, I watched it for the first time a couple days ago, preparing for this.
Oh, wow.
I didn't hate it.
That's so weird. As like the
That's all he
first.
could say about it. He talked about his experience, like remembering making it. He's like, yeah, everyone was really good. The girl playing Christy was very professional. I was impressed with her age, and talked about how he got the part and everything, but nothing like wow. But like my favorite part was where he's just like, I didn't hate it. That's all he could really say about it.
That's so weird.
So what are we watching next week, Tim?
We're gonna watch Splatter University.
Wow. Okay.
I love the title.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I'm down. and it's on Plex, so it should be widely available for everybody. And let's get some slasher in, you know? And
Absolutely.
it also felt because of what we just watched. Like I was like, let's get to some freaking horror.
Tim wants to
I'm
see the bodies hit the floor.
that's what I went for body count is what I was thinking. So that just felt I might be incredibly disappointed when I see the actual movie, but I was like, this
I
at
don't
least
know.
title wise sounds like the body count's gonna be a lot higher than the last two movies,
This
which
this will
is
be 2 weeks in a row that I've not seen the movie before. Three for you. So this is very exciting season for you, huh?
yeah, there's quite a there's a decent amount for me in this season. You know, unlike 92 horror where I was like I've basically seen all of this. So yeah, so I'm excited. I'm hoping at least fingers crossed the body count is a lot higher than the last two movies. It's been pretty disappointing.
Well, I can't wait
Um
to watch this over Easter weekend.
I you know what? Maybe you're right. I didn't see a zombie pick here. I should have went zombie pick, huh?
Good call. You got anything else?
No, man, that's it for me.
All right. Well, that is it for us. Please share your support for the podcast by leaving a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, or wherever you happen to listen to the show. Also, sharing is caring. Be sure to follow us on social media to get the latest show updates. You can contact us by emailing at filmbrochamp@gmail.com or find us by searching for the hashtag FilmBroChamp. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Film Bro Championship Podcast. Peace out, everyone.
Peace out, Paul Fox.
Christy.
Steve.